Cooking and soup making from a 14-year-old frozen turkey. William Hovey Smith, 2015. I'm the author of Backyard Deer Hunting, and here is some of our seasonal cooking.
This is Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman. And today we're going to uncover what considered the dark arts of what in the world do you do with one of these Christmas turkeys after Christmas? Ah! Well, this was a very interesting turkey. And here it is. Externally, this looks like any other Christmas turkey. However, it is somewhat unusual and special, as one would suspect if I had anything to do with it. This turkey actually had its best used date in the year 2004. It is now very nearly 2016. Brr! Yeah. It was solidly frozen. And guess what? It cooked and ate just fine. Yeah. It really, really did. And in fact, we have consumed some parts of it. There are only two of us here for Christmas dinner. So we sliced some of the breast meat and a little bit of the leg, and that's what we had. But now I have almost this entire turkey carcass to do something with. And being presently just one guy, I can't eat up this whole thing in 2 or 3 days. So I'm going to do several things with it. We are going to cut some meat for sliced meat for use in sandwiches. Some of it we're going to cut up in pieces for future heating and cooking, such as the leg and hindquarters. Then the carcass, we're actually going to cut in several pieces and use that and the small cuttings to start our traditional Christmas soup out of. Yeah. So we're going to wind up using very, very nearly this entire carcass. This knife is something after a fruit knife. It has a somewhat speckled reputation among some circles. If you look at my particular videos, you'll see why. But this thin, flexible blade is indeed ideal for working up this carcass, particularly for getting around the bones like we'll be doing right here and almost immediately. So what we're going to do is first remove this remaining meat down to the bone and separate it into what might be called giblets that we're going to put in soups, and also in the sliced meat that we're going to save for sandwiches and actually freeze a little of it for a little while, meaning days. The rest of this that we're going to take out in larger pieces with the skin on, we will freeze for some times later. And what we have now is half the carcass removed down to the bone. Now in the large tub to the left, I have the parts that are going to go into a pressure cooker. And we're going to make a broth out of those. In the smaller container, I have cut up giblets of meat that will go in the turkey soup. And then in a plastic bag, I have the sliced turkey, which is going to go immediately in the refrigerator, that I'm going to use to eat up for the next couple of weeks. Although somewhat difficult to see because of the lack of contrast in the skin, this is of course the leg. This is the divide between the breast and the thigh and the leg itself. And as you can see, perhaps, this has separated almost an inch from the carcass here. You can see it better as I cut it away. So this is an indication, yes, indeed, this file was very, very well done. Now I'm using the boning knife here because I want to make a deep cut, and I also have to find my way around a joint. And that is this joint right here. Okay. And there it comes. So that part is completely separated. And this I'm going to freeze whole, just as it is, leaving the skin on. I'm going to put it in this plastic bag. Now the plastic bag is a regular Walmart bag, and it is puncture free. This again will prevent freezer burn. I've added no moisture nor anything else to it. Okay. Again, we try to exhaust absolutely all the air we can. Come on, get out, get out, get out, get out. Okay, last little bit of escape. Now I'll see if it can fit inside the second Ziploc bag. It may barely fit. And I have locked it where I can. Okay. Then I'm going to put a wrap of tinfoil around it. And that will keep for weeks, if not months. Now, the wings here are going to be cut up and go into the giblets, so to speak. So I'm going to cut that off here. Okay. And try to extract this breast, leaving as much of the skin on as we possibly can. You have the sternum here. See it separated. You do have to cut this muscle right through here. Okay. And try and make as few cuts in the meat as we possibly can. The more cuts you have in it, the more surface oxidation area you relieve. Make it as smooth as possible. I'm going to shave off these small cuts here. Yeah, that will fit in the Ziploc just fine. These are quart Ziploc bags, by the way. Good, that seals solidly all the way through. This will keep for weeks or months. Here we are with the carcass partially dismembered, still not quite cleaned. Now, the carcass was cooked well enough that I was able to just break it apart with the hands. I didn't need my big cleaver here after all. And I'm going to salvage the onions and celery here and put these in. I'm going to dice them up thin because these have a lot of fats trapped in them, and so they will provide a lot of nutritional value to the soup itself. We have now progressed to the stage of firing up the pressure cooker, and what we have separated are these are the carcass fragments that are going to make a broth. Now all these are going into the pressure cooker, and they'll be boiled for approximately an hour. And then the remaining meat removed, the skin taken out, the bones taken out. After that is done, this cut meat and the cut vegetables will be added, as well as this gelatin, which is on the platter. We're now at the stage that we are going to start adding ingredients. And these include about half a cup of rice, and we have tomatoes, another can of stewed tomatoes, a can of drained chopped beets, 2 string beans, corn, 2 cans, cold curl. Alright. Alright. And now we're going to let this cook down for a while. And then we'll talk about adding the rest of our ingredients and actually tasting and finishing off the soup. Here we are at the taste adjustment stage of our soup cooking. Well, the soup is actually done, and here it is. The fact is, it just doesn't taste like very much. It tastes like something you would expect in a school cafeteria or from a rest stop restaurant in the culinary desert of the American Midwest. It is very bland indeed. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a tablespoonful of salt, a teaspoonful of black pepper, a teaspoonful of oregano, some parsley flakes, some celery seed, and a little touch of sage, and one of my finely diced cut peppers, as well as a half a stick of butter. Now what this will do will be considerably improve the savory and flavor characteristics of the dish. And so we have our flavor adjusted turkey soup. And the turkey carcass is outdoors and thrown away, what didn't get fed to the hound doggies. And I have a very simple supper here with some of my cornbread dressing here, and the turkey soup, a small bowl, and a slice of my enhanced pumpkin pie, minus piglets by the way, and of course the turkey soup. Now, to the soup I actually added a small can of tomato paste. I decided I wanted a little more tomato flavor to it, and everything has changed the color and complexion and flavor and odors of this quite a bit, just with a few simple additions I made. Now the most significant changes were made by adding the butter and the salt, and in fact you could have gotten away with just doing that. The rest is pretty much added. I did put one jalapeno pepper in here, which gives it a little kick on the aftertaste. I like my soups warm from the point of view of both color and also pepper content. It's good. It tastes warm. It tastes rich. That half stick of butter really improved it. I did not over salt it. I do taste a little bit flavor of salt, but that's just about right. Now this is a soup made from basically salvaged ingredients that you could put on any table in the world and would do very well indeed. But now, this is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe, goodbye, God bless, and see you next time.
I write about some of the not usually covered topics in the outdoor press, such as backyard deer hunting, crossbow hunting, extreme muzzleloading, and practical bow fishing. Now all of these have cooking recipes. Now I have a new series of business books in the Profit series. The first of these are ideas for new businesses, and here's a little blurb about me and about the book. Now, as long as meat has been solidly frozen, it will keep almost indefinitely, and there's certainly no need to throw away a year-old turkey that's been well and continuously frozen. For more information on my books, blogs, and more than 475 videos, you can go to my website, www.hoviasmith.com. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors. Goodbye, and God bless.